Sog.
What's up, my dudes and ladies? In this video, we'll be going through my purchases from the DFW G.I. Joe and Action Figure Show. But first, a quick ad from our sponsor.
There are 3 new adventures for the adventure team. Here are 3. You can investigate strange UFO phenomenon with the Crop Circle investigation set featuring the Trace Residue Element Analyzer. And there's a Joe ready to battle any mechanical foe with the Robot Hunter set using his Para-Power Rifle and Power Pack. Your adventure can contain a deadly viral outbreak with the Biohazard Danger set and his Magna Claw. Collect all 3 of these new Adventure Team sets, each sold separately. Crop Circle Investigation, Robot Hunter, and Biohazard Danger set each sold separately. Figure and boots not included. From Atomic Mushroom.
We're gonna start with this lot here. Now this really isn't a purchase, but something better. My good friend Andrew Hasara stopped by the booth and gifted me these custom 3D printed heads that he made. And I tell you, that's actually way better than the stuff that, when you buy stuff. And, Andy is a good friend of the channel, and I consider him a friend personally. He's a great guy, very talented designer and 3D printer. Anyway, let's get through what he gifted me at the show. First are these 2 heads, and if you don't immediately recognize that, this is based off of the box artwork of the original G.I. Joe head. That's pretty cool. It's 3D printed and it's made to fit the neck post of the 60s style bodies, and he gave me 2. And there's a female figure that he made, and it's interesting. I'm probably gonna try and do something with this and see if I can get some hair in there. Maybe I'll ask good old Chuck Scirocco if he can do something with that. And this fabulous copy of the Bullet Man head. Now, I don't think this is a direct copy. I think this was something that he used a reference photo and then reimagined it on a computer software and then 3D printed it. Like I said, Andy is a very talented person, and I can't wait to do a second take on an Action Man figure with these. And of course, it came with his good old traditional helmet. And of course, as Andy had mentioned to me, I seem to have a fondness for firearms, so he gave me this, I believe it's a Tokarev bullpup shotgun, and it was complete with a removable magazine and also a spare one, and a little laser blaster. That's kind of cool. I might give these to one of my Gorgax lieutenants. Kind of neat. And some kind of I'm not sure what this is, but it's a neat little gizmo. And of course, here in the channel, we do love our gizmos. And of course, he did gift me a Adventure Team dog tag, but not just any regular one. This is an AOA version. And of course, being an AOA member myself, this was very welcome. Thank you, Andy, for all of this. Well, hold on. What are you doing? Why you turned around? What is this? Oh, well, he seems to pop up everywhere, doesn't he? And this is of course, a 3D printed version of our very own beloved Paul Knapp. Paul, you are officially going to be in the channel. Watch out for this character. doing cameos on random videos. You just never know where he's gonna pop up. And look at that. That's a face only a mother would love. Anyway, again, Andy, thank you for these awesome custom heads. Looking forward to doing other great stuff with you in the future. Next, we have these 4 awesome vintage G.I. Joes. Now let's get a good look at them out of the bag. And here are our new adventurers out of the bag. Now these came from a seller named, I believe, Paul Nordstrom. And he had a smoking deal on these. He basically had a box that was marked $25 to $30 each. And I could not resist that deal. That is an awesome deal. And these figures were solid. I mean, they have cracks. The $25 ones had the Cotswold hands, but I don't mind that at all because I often buy Cotswold hands to replace them because I like to change up their function during a video, gripping to original hard hands and so on. So the ones with the original hands, he had marked $30 each, and any that had replacement hands or feet were marked $25, and that was still a good deal. Now, these have like the typical knee cracks and stuff, but guys, I tell you, what's great about the vintage figures is, and I've been collecting since the 90s, since literally 1990, and despite the cracks, I have not had any instance except for maybe like the black G.I. Joes, where the cracks would just critically fail and fall apart. Despite the cracks, they can hold a tight joint, and I've never had to repair them. I sort of see them as a badge of honor, something that happens because they were used and loved. So I don't mind them at all. And the hair on these, they've got some bald spots. Some are pretty decent, like this Man of Action and the Sea Adventurer. It just needs cleaning up. And of course, you guys know I have the Mother Flocker 3000, and these guys are going to have a fresh flock. So, gone are the days where you pass by G.I. Joes, vintage G.I. Joes that have missing patches of hair. And these are great. I kind of regretted not coming back to grab more. I should have done that. But by the time I came back the next day, the whole box was gone. So kudos to Paul Nordstrom for putting out some great deals. If you see my walkthrough, you'll see his table. And guys, he had some smoking boss ass prices. Anyway, let's go on to the next item. Alright, G.I. Joe fans, you know what this is. If you don't, this is a vintage G.I. Joe Adventure Team Big Trapper. Now, this is one of those vehicles that came like in the tail end of the G.I. Joe Adventure Team series. This was a vehicle that was issued during the muscle body era of G.I. Joe. And so it's a bit on the rare side. Well, maybe not rare, but you don't see it too often. Maybe I'm making excuses because of what I did to one long time ago. You all know this vehicle. That is the Scarab, and as you can see, it is based off of this vehicle. It's basically just using the front and the rear body parts, and I fabricated a middle section where the electronics go. And excuse the look, the disheveled look of my Scarab right now. It's going through a refresh. As you can see, it's got brand new wheels, and I haven't put the wheel, the nut cover in the middle. Really boss looking new wheels. And so you're going to be seeing that again on the next installment of Mystery of a Demon's Eye, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, back to the Big Trapper. I got this at a gentleman named Mark Spencer's booth, and he always had like a box of parts under the table, and they're usually he usually lets them go for like ridiculous prices. I actually got enough parts to complete a Turbo Swampcraft, and that was for $40. Okay, so if you guys know, Turbo Swampcraft, those aren't cheap. They never go cheap on eBay or any secondary marketplaces. And I was able to get one for $4. And guess what? I asked him how much for these Big Trapper parts, and he gave it to me for $40. And I couldn't pass it up. I had to grab it. And I guess that's because it is very difficult to find the parts for these. As you can see, the part that connects the two main sections together is pretty much destroyed. Only half is still there, and the plastic is, just like what happens with plastic like polypropylene. When it's in the wrong environment, they will disintegrate. So this thing is very brittle, and you look at it the wrong way and it falls apart. I got this because it so happens that I have the part. This is fully intact. It's still very supple, and this is just an example of what happens if you store your toys properly. Don't put them in the attic where there's a lot of heat and everything, and they will stay in good condition. See, these things very pliable still, and so I can put this together. I even have the cannon. I just need to find the base so that it will sort of connect like that. And I do have the cage, but the cage I still use. It's still usable on the Scarab, so I guess I can switch it back and forth. But this is the big question, guys. Answer in the comments section what you think. Now, I can restore this, but the thing is, my guys hardly use any equipment that I have not customized to some degree. I do have quite a handful of original vehicles that are untouched, and I do have the capture copter, and I suppose I can just restore this. So what do you guys think? Restore or customize to something like this? Now, what I have in mind, because I do have that, which is a 3-axle version, and I'm working on the Mammoth that has a 4-axle setup. And what I had in mind for this was sort of like a lighter version of this with just 2 axles. That means it's just going to have 4 monster truck wheels on it. It's sort of going to be like a very fast, get to point A to B with no problem, sort of like a rock crawler. But with the same kind of tires. I might get like new tires, different design tires for it. But I was thinking of doing that where it's going to keep basically that basic distance, that length, like how it was, where it's like that, but jacked up and like a monster truck. So you guys let me know what you think, because I do have the part. I'll just have to get, but if I go full restoration, I'm not doing like 3D printed parts. I will hunt down the original part, because this will go great with my capture copter, because it's in that era. And I do have an intruder, so it can go in the cage. Well, this is an idea. Maybe I can just take the original cage that was on the Scarab and give it to this one right here, restore it, and then just 3D print something for this. I don't want, if I'm going to 3D print something for this, it's not going to be a copy of the cage. It's going to be something bespoke to it and be more in line with its mission capabilities. So anyway, like I said, comment on the comment section what you think I should do with this. Anyway, let's get on to the last item. Now, there's a little bit of a sad story that's involved in this last item. But first, I have to show you what this is. Check this out. This is a freaking mech, a robot that a 12-inch figure can ride on. It's battery operated and it walks. And look how cool that is. And I tell you, seeing this, I'm like, Hasbro, man, you guys are killing me. How come you guys didn't do anything like this when you all had the 12-inch G.I. Joe going? I mean, the possibilities of just the platform itself. You can do a combat version of this, which is something like this, a construction version, that your adventure team can use, do it in yellow, okay? And guess what? This is by Leonard, okay? This is by Leonard. They're a great company. They made so many cool stuff. A lot was adventure related. But guess what? There's another company that made something similar. Check this out. This is by Century Toys. At least that's the marking on the back. Century Toys. This is also a mech. It's battery operated, just like the Leonard version, and it walks. These two are fully operational. This was gifted to me by the one and only Rick Bradshaw. Rick, again, thank you for this awesome gift, man. Check this out. This is, I can't believe it. How, it's like, talk about parallel evolution. These two companies came up with this, like, out of this world idea, but what Hasbro didn't? Dude, you all got to start hiring the right people there, man. You guys should have kept Daryl the Priest. Hell, you guys should have hired me. Anyway, now this isn't actually the one that I got. I got this from Greg Brown of Cotswold Collectibles. Well, not this one. This one I got from a seller, an eBay seller, all the way from Greece. And when I got it, it broke my heart. check this out. Check this sad state of affairs here. When the guy dropped this off at my front door, and I was there to meet him, when he put that box down, I heard the most horrible rattling sound. The sound of broken, smashed plastic, like a Tiffany lamp that was stomped on by Godzilla. And it was the most horrible, heart-sinking sound. I took the guy off. This guy's was mint in box. It was still tied to that back cardboard there, and it was brand spanking new, and it was smashed. I guess the cold airplane belly, the cold plastic, all the jarring just caused this critical failure here. But guess what? You know, after this, I tried to look for another, and I could not find another one. This thing is so rare. I only seen that in photographs, and that's how come I knew about it. I never seen it in a store, but check this out. This is a mint box Ultra Core Walker Stalker from Leonard. Isn't that glorious? Now I've got two of these guys in mint clothes. They're gonna have to fight over this mech here. But check that out. Mint in mint box. I was talking to Greg because he mentioned on Facebook that he secured from the source the last remaining vestiges of the Leonard toy supply. And you know, here's another bonus. I met the vice president of product and development of Leonard Toys. His name is Mark Tebby. And as I was going back to my table, I ran into him. He saw me, and I had this in my hand, and he was like, "Oh, you got it." And I was like, I didn't know who he was, but he introduced himself as Mark Tebby, and he had a hand in designing this, and it was a pleasure meeting you, Mark, and thank you for designing this. Now, according to him, originally this supposed to have a cage that went over that. Oh man, I wish they were able to do that, but he said that due to cost constraints that they had to forego that. But anyway, still, look how badass is this. I couldn't even take this out of the box because every time I looked at it, it was just gut-wrenching. But now I can handle it. I'm gonna use this as part of a diorama, as like a wrecked version of this, like, you know, it got hit by a plasma cannon or something, and you know, so that's still gonna have its uses on it, you know. But first, I'm gonna pull out all the guts out of it, you know, anything salvageable in case something happens to this, and I'm just gonna use the shell and whatever for a diorama, you know, a wrecked mech type diorama. And man, I am over the moon. Anyway, continuing the story, I was at Greg Brown's Cotswold collectible booth, and you know, he had all the stuff, and I said, Greg, there's this thing I've been looking for. And of course, it was this robot, and I described it to him, and he said, wait a second. He ducks down, and he pulls this out, and the wind got sucked out of that room because of that monumental gasp I made. And he said he had 3, and he brought one because my psychic, vibes was going out there in the universe, and he must have picked it up, and something told him, Greg, bring this with you. And oh man, this was to me the crown jewel of my pickups for that show. Anyway, guys, that is what I have for you today. I didn't pick up as much as last year. That was quite a gigantic haul last year. The video's still up. If you want to watch that, it's still up on my channel. And guys, thank you for sticking with me to the end of this video. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Mac Sog out.